It's coming back for more.
My family calls it my superpower. It's my ability to see value in things that other people might overlook. Sometimes I go picking with my boyfriend, sometimes it's my best friend Sue, and sometimes it's my kids. But at the end of the day, it's all about having fun and hopefully just maybe making a profit. All right, we're gonna try one more time, okay? We're gonna start over. Okay, ready, steady, go. Okay. Out on the table here in front of us, we have everything from our last 2 days of shopping. We bought a lot of stuff, as you can see, and we did pretty good with it, I would have to say. We did actually pretty darn good with it.
Yeah, 2 separate stores.
Yes,
Goodwill and Community Aid.
Mm-hmm.
The Community Aid trip, one item that we'll show you at the very end is going to actually pay for that entire shop.
Yeah, absolutely.
At Community Aid, so so I know we're doing all right.
So we're gonna save that to the very end, so you have to watch our entire video. Sorry.
Yep.
So anyway, first we're gonna go through everything we bought at the Goodwill. Unfortunately, I've already been peeling the stickers off so I can list the stuff up on eBay. So I'm gonna put our grand spend up here, and then we're gonna go over the items that we did get at the Goodwill, which were not as numerous as the Community Aid, I don't think. But we did get quite a few good items there, including one of my favorites. So let's go over these items real quick. I will start first with
Pretty handle.
Plate with the pretty handle. The handle is actually what attracted me to this plate. It is hand painted Nippon. Now Nippon is another word for Japan, so it is made in Japan. Paid $1 for this. I didn't realize until a little bit after carrying it around for a while that it does have a chip on it, unfortunately. So I paid $1 for this. I would expect probably to get $5 to $10 on this, which isn't an incredible turnaround, but the Moriage handle was just too much to pass up.
Yeah, I would have grabbed that myself, to be honest with you.
It is actually really pretty seen, and I think that this little handle really just tops it off.
Yeah.
Now, some of my buyers did suggest that the purpose of this little plate with the handle was to serve lemon wedges. Well, okay, I learned something new. I don't know if that's actually the case, or if that's just a rumor, but
I guess it really could have ultimately been used to serve anything small.
yeah, absolutely.
Any kind of small portion to somebody. I mean,
I think it would look nice on the wall.
I think it would too. I like it.
I think it's a wall plate. I think they're all wall plates, honestly. We pick out plates and I'm like, that would look nice on the wall. Just put all our plates on the walls. Okay, so let's talk next about this lamp that I have in front of me. This was another piece that I got at the Goodwill. I said I was no longer buying lamps, and obviously that didn't apply on this trip or the trip to Community Aid because I've got 3 lamps in front of me. So this lamp, oh my gosh, something is growing on me. I can feel it. Was that you? Were you reaching behind me? Oh my god. Oh my god!
It's just one of those little copper dealies.
Can you go stop it?
Oop, it's coming back for more. Yeah, he's not coming back anymore.
Oh my god, I almost died.
Oh.
Sorry.
We'll name him Frank Sinatra. He's dead.
Oh my god. Okay. Where was I?
Your lamp.
Oh, my lamp.
Before we were so rudely interrupted by the insect that just had to crawl across your shoulder.
Oh, they love me. They want to eat me. Eat me alive. I'm gonna die. Okay. This lamp right here is meant to be, to appear as an oil lamp. It is electrified, however. And if it did not have this fancy hand-painted flowers on it, I probably would have just left it there because it would have just been milk glass and it would have been boring. And you guys know how I feel about milk glass, but I bought it because it has flowers painted around it and I thought they were nice. So it has a marble base and the hand painted flowers. It would have had a chimney. on top. Unfortunately, I do not have a chimney in all of my extra parts.
That would have been the same style as the hurricane lamps, where it's
Yes.
like tapered out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just selling it as is because you guys know I have like 10 million project lamps and I just need to list them and not hoard them until I find the parts for them. So this piece I have up on eBay right now. I would probably expect to get anywhere from $20 to $30 for it, probably.
I like the hand painted flowers.
I love the hand painted flowers. Absolutely. So there's that lamp that I got at the Goodwill. And I also got this little doggy firehouse. It's so terribly modern, but you know me and figurines. And this is little doggies taking over a ceramic firehouse. And it is a candle holder. So you stick a little candle in there and it flickers. And now it does have, some of the paint is chipping on it. Unfortunately, it's not chipped, but the paint is chipping. So there are some spots where the paint is unfortunately missing, but it has a wreath, so I think it's kind of holiday Christmas themed. But this piece, I would probably suspect to get $25 to $30 for it.
Yeah, reasonable.
But we've already got quite a few bids on this.
It's a popular theme. I mean,
it's fire department, it's Dalmatians.
Yeah, there's multiple themes going for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Christmas. Christmas is always popular stuff. And
absolutely. And it is marked 2001. So it's, again, it's modern. It's not terribly.
And the other, it does have one nice little feature I like about it too. When you go to put your light in it, which is really nice, it has the notch.
Yes.
So the cord, it'll go over the cord and it won't sit cockeyed.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
I really like that.
Yeah, they actually did a nice job on
I
it.
like some modern stuff. See? Now, another item we got at the Goodwill is this purse.
Yeah.
You guys know when I'm looking at handbags, I'm looking at fun, funky, vintage, retro, interesting handbags. I'm not looking for designer handbags because most of them, 90% of the handbags that you find at thrift stores are knockoffs. The odds of somebody donating a Prada, a Gucci, a Louis Vuitton to the Goodwill are very, very slim. And
not saying it couldn't happen.
No, we're not saying it couldn't happen, but the chances are so slim. So I don't look at those. I don't want to get caught by eBay selling a knockoff bag because I didn't know, and it's one of those things. So I don't look at those designer bags, but I do look for fun and funky bags. And this is fun and funky. It is recycled plastics cut into squares, and then they're just sewn together into this square pattern.
And it's not like a normal yarn either.
It's kind of nylon.
Yeah.
It's kind of a nylon thing, and it's got a vintage button on it. For this bag, I would probably expect to get $20 to $25 for it, and I like that. It's fun. It's funky. I actually slid some of Juliet's books in there, so it's perfect. It's the perfect size for some books. Yeah, so it's like a library bag almost.
Yeah.
You could take it to the library. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else I got at the Goodwill? I think that was community aid. Oh, wait.
Yes, it was. Oh, we almost forgot.
We almost forgot my favorite piece from the Goodwill. This enormous vase that I thought was going to be Pier 1 when I tipped it over. Stop making that face. I thought when I grabbed it and I tipped it over, I was going to find Pier 1 on the bottom. But you know what it says? It says West Germany. So you know what that means? That means it's after World War II and before 1989, because that's when they took down the Berlin Wall. So, I'm pretty thrilled with this piece. I'm thinking it probably dates from the 60s to the 70s. It's very retro. It's got a lava glaze and it's got these big blotches of red. And I love the colors. Unfortunately, it does not match my living room at all. So I had to remodel my entire living room. I had to buy a new rug. I had to buy all new pillows and lamps and just, no, really? I feel like I had to redesign the whole living room around this space.
No.
Okay, maybe I'll just move it to a different room. But I'm not selling this, I'm keeping it. I paid $15 for this. I feel if I were to sell it, which isn't gonna happen, and I were to sell it to the correct buyer, I should say, which would be difficult to find because to ship this would be quite the task. It's heavy, it's big, it's
easily shippable.
Oh my gosh, that's what he says. I would at least get $150 for this. And that's for the chip on the bottom. I mean, a crack, I would say. There is a crack on the bottom. It does not go all the way up. It's just kind of a crack that's waiting to be aggravated into something more. And so that makes me nervous about shipping it.
With that damage, shipping this piece, it would almost certainly get more damage on the way.
Yes, because it would get jostled. I love that word, it sounds like my name. It would get jostled and it would get shook up and it would agitate the crack and possibly send it up the sides and maybe actually break it. So it's not being shipped. But I absolutely adore this piece.
But don't worry, I'll list it later and get put it for local pickup. Local pickup.
No, not happening. Not happening. So
I'll give you my address.
that was my favorite piece from that day of shopping, both from the community and
It looks like
aliens.
the eyes of a spider.
Oh, don't say that. You're gonna ruin it for me. It looks like the eyes of that bug that just crawled on you.
Mm-hmm.
No.
It's gonna come alive and eat you.
Stop it. Okay. Now you need to talk about what you got at Goodwill, and then we'll go on to the community.
Yeah, I didn't get a whole heck of a lot at Goodwill. You guys know I like things that are patriotic themed. This is cool. The 1792 actually has a slight significance to American history. It is the first year that the mint was actually striking coins. They were commissioned and authorized by Congress in 1791. First coins came off, half Disney's in 1792. So it's kind of a cool piece. This I think was what, $1.97, it was $2. Mm-hmm. It wasn't all that expensive. It does have a small doink on the lip, unfortunately.
Are you gonna keep it with the doink?
We're gonna list it cheap. It's gonna go.
Is it? Okay.
Possibly, probably,
Okay.
more than likely. I'm not in love with it. I like it, but I'm not in love with it. This is cute. It is modern, made to look old.
It's sold.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Already?
Yes.
That's insane.
As if in this video it is sold.
That is ridiculous. Okay, so it is modern. It is 1996. It is modern, made to look old. It has that little Cupid face. I really liked it. I thought it was cool. It's an advertising piece for Bailey's. Yeah, neat little piece.
It is a neat piece.
Okay, I have to be nice to it since it's already sold. Ah, there, confirmation.
Oh my goodness.
This one here, we did a little research on this. Anne Hathaway's cottage shottery. You said this Shakespeare's wife.
Yes.
So, you know, nice chalkware piece. Really good design. It was $2. These actually only bring what?
5 to 10.
Yeah, $5 to $10. It's not that cheap, shoddy looking.
Shoddy? Was that a play on words?
Mm.
Oh, I caught it.
The shottery is not shoddy.
Ah, I got it.
So, so that'll be up and listed. And I think that was it from the Goodwill. The rest was community.
The lamb.
Was that Goodwill?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just picking up random character figures now, you know, just animals and stuff.
Because I love animals.
Yeah, and everybody else seems to like them because I pack and ship a lot of these creatures. So
he's in charge of the shipping department.
So I'm seeing what's going out the door. And I'm trying to pick up things that go with those things that are going out the door.
Yeah, makes sense.
So
I like it.
I'm analyzing what you're buying.
All right, so let's move on to the community. I suppose I will go first.
Sure.
Okay.
Chop chop.
So after the Goodwill, we went to the community aid. Our total spend, and I know this because I was like, I can't believe I just spent that much at the community aid, was $118. And this was on half off day. Granted, some of the tags were not half off because they were new tags. And when we go to these Goodwills, when we go to these community aids or Goodwill, we have a tendency to pick up tags that are brand new that day. And so we usually don't get the discounts because...
And not only that, we normally don't go on half off day just because...
Never go on half off day.
That's, yeah.
The worst day to go.
Yeah.
So many people. I'd rather pay full price and not have to deal with the people.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's go over...
Keeps me from getting into battles over glasses,
That's
too.
exactly right. Yeah. Although that was senior day, if I recall.
Okay, well, I just won't go on senior day either.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
I don't want to get attacked.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so let's talk about what I got at the community aid. So I got lots of glassware. Actually, my Viking vase I put back up on the little shelf. I got a little purple Viking vase.
Oh, yes.
That I put back up on my shelf because we already filmed this video once and I put it back up on my shelf.
We did
I will admit we filmed this once already and I'm like, wait, we gotta film it again.
Yeah.
I wasn't pleased with it.
It was like almost midnight last night and we were both exhausted.
It didn't turn out very well.
The ring light was just like glaring in my face, driving my eyes nuts, so.
But yes, I got that little Viking L.A. Smith swan glass amethyst vase. Paid, I want to say, I'm not sure how much we paid for that, but it's worth probably 20 to 25 for that little vase. I love that vase. It's up with my L.A. Smith collection that I'm building. I built some more today, but you're not gonna see that video for another week. Also, from the community aid. This right here is Anchor Hocking. Andrew actually found this piece, but I'm going to claim it as my own. Got this piece. I found a piece of that matches this before at the other community aid hamburger. This piece is the Anchor Hocking Vitroc pattern. The inside is peach. It comes in various different colors. The inside is peach. The outside is like a melt glass. It's a nice little bowl. There is a bigger bowl that goes with it. Together, the bigger bowl and the little bowl sell for $18. The little bowl by itself would probably sell between $5 and $10. $5 and $10. So it's not a huge turnaround, but I think it's a pretty little bowl.
Yeah, I'd hate to see it just sit.
Yes.
It's a cool piece.
Me too. There's no chips and cracks on it, so it's a good piece.
Yeah.
It'll do well.
And I spotted it.
You did. I was very proud of you. I was too busy trying to find somebody to charge my camera battery. If you recall. Like, will you charge my battery, please? I need it. Also,
yeah, because like legitimately, I think I walked back to the cart by the time you got to the shelves, and I already had like 3
You came
items.
to me like juggling stuff, and you're like, I've got all this stuff. I'm like, oh, wonderful. This piece right here.
I like that.
Well, you know, let's not get to the lamps yet. What else can we talk about? I guess, yeah, okay. We'll talk about this. I got an ashtray. These ashtrays can also be used as paintbrush rests. One of my viewers pointed that out to me early on because I had bought an ashtray that I just thought was beautiful because it was a cobalt glass. And I'm like, well, I don't know how many people buy ashtrays nowadays. And they're like, well, you can use them as a paintbrush rest. And I had never thought of repurposing these old ashtrays, but they can be repurposed. And so I just love this green glass. It's controlled bubbles, Bolicante, I believe is what the word is for it. There is scratching on the bottom where, you know, it slid across the table probably for quite a while. Yeah. So, but it is a really nice green glass. For this piece, I would probably expect between $25 and $30 for this without any chips or cracks. At least it didn't have any. Just kidding. I didn't hurt it. I just set it down very roughly. This piece right here, the Stingray, I got out of the collector's cabinet. Paid $15 for this, which I regret because when I was taking pictures of it,
it's got a big old crack.
I realized the bottom underside has a crack all the way from the tail out to the fin, where you only see it if you hold it at a certain angle. Because the crack is kind of a weird crack, so you have to hold it at a certain angle. You can't see it from the top. It doesn't go all the way through the glass. It's just on the bottom at a certain angle. So unfortunately, if it did not have the crack, this piece would sell between $25 and $30. That's what they go for, these exact Stingrays. They are art glass. They are not necessarily attributed to Murano. Just because it's art glass does not make it Murano. The bird. Oh, the bird is lovely, isn't it, Andrew?
Except
I haven't gotten there yet. I paid $10 for the bird because I loved the bird and I thought the bird was lovely. And come to find out, the bird also has a boo-boo. I paid $10 for the bird. On the wing, it says 1, 2. The third feather is chipped. So the third feather goes in and all the other feathers are out, unfortunately. But if you just lay it like this, the bird is very pretty. It has a gold flecks in it. Paid $10 for this. I'm honestly not sure what I could get for this. I could not find a comparable one in good condition, so I'm not sure what I could get for it in chipped condition. But I paid $10 for this. I don't believe it was discounted. This was a red tag, so it was the full $10. I'm hoping I can at least make my money back on it.
Well, actually, if you think about it, when we get to the end of the video and I show that very last item.
Yeah, it's all paid for.
It's
so
all paid
it's
for.
all profit, no matter what.
You're not losing anything on it. You don't have to get back anything on it. That one item is going to cover all that stuff and help out a lot.
That's true.
So, and that can happen to you guys too when you're out picking. You're going to have that one super item that maybe a sleeper item that you don't even know is a good item, and you get home and you research and it's like, oh my God, this thing is worth $100. I spent $50 today on stuff and I got a ton of stuff, and you just doubled your money and paid for everything else. Pure gravy. So
it's gravy. We love gravy. Uh-oh. We're gonna end. Okay, we have restarted because we ran out of the SD card, but do you remember what I was talking about? I think I was talking about this lovely specimen.
yes.
This is an ice bucket.
Yes. A really cool ice
penguins
bucket.
on it. And it looks like an atomic-y thing, but it's not. It's mid-century. This is a fun item because there are pieces listed currently for sale on eBay for $150.
Which is absolutely insane
Absolutely
and ridiculous.
insane. Do you know how much this sells for, Andrew?
40, 50 maybe, tops.
It sells between $25 and $40, depending on the condition, depending on the color of the handles. There are some listed as Bakelite handles. I have not tested the handles to see if they're Bakelite. I mean, they look like Bakelite.
Did you not say
smell like Bakelite.
Also that it is good for hot or cold?
Oh yes, it is good for hot or cold. Fun fact. The bottom says. I haven't actually personally tested it.
So multi-use.
Multi-use. It's in actually really good condition. It does have some scratching. That's expected with something this age. But the inside is just like
super clean.
Super clean.
It really is. I mean, the lid is the only thing that really has any kind of like any little hairline scratching on it.
There is a spot of oxidation on the front of it, but
very small though, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's all pictured in the listing, but it's a really nice piece.
The rubber gasket that's inside is not dry rotted. It's in really good shape, which I'm really surprised that it's not dry rotted.
It's a really nice piece, and I think we paid $5 for it. So I'm pleased with that. Also, we have this lamp over here, in frame. I got this lamp. Now, this is not my typical style of lamp. This is not a lamp I would typically buy.
Especially when you're not buying lamps.
Especially when I'm not buying lamps. That's exactly right. So why did I buy this lamp? I bought this lamp because there was just something about it. It's a probably 1940s style, 1930s, 1940s style. And it's hand painted. There is an artist's signature on it. But there's just something about the quality of the lamp, the lines of the lamp, that just attracted me to it. And I had to buy it. This lamp I would expect probably to sell between $45 and $65, and I paid $5 for it. So, I did all right. I just gotta get it listed now. Another lamp I bought was this little boudoir lamp right here. This little guy would have had a partner, and he would have sat on the end of a bed on each side of the bedside table. He also would have had little crystals that hung from the little holes all around. I think there's 12.
Yep, there's.
Counted them last night.
Yep, there's 12. And a thought I had for this too is even if you didn't want to replace the crystals, you could actually turn this into a holiday themed lamp. The lamp is clear, so it's neutral with everything else. and you can get Easter themed decor to hang from these little holes, and maybe get an Easter themed shade for it, and then swap it over to Christmas when Christmas rolls around, or swap it over to Halloween when Halloween rolls around. You could use this thing for all year long and actually have little dangly decorations coming off of it, like a craft project almost.
You're so creative. I would have just made it a lamp.
You could do that too.
I'm not creative at all.
I like to have fun.
I don't. I hate fun.
I know. You yell at me all the time. You're so mean to me.
I'm very mean.
You're so mean. So awful.
I am a fun killer. A killer of fun. This lamp right here, I would expect to get 20 to 25 for it. 25 at the high end, probably not quite 25, but I paid $2.50 for it, so.
You can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong, that's correct.
And it doesn't need to be rewired if I...
No, I mean, the wire is vintage, but it's in good condition. It's not dry rotted, it's not...
Socket's not all loose
socket
and
is
full.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not one that would be cause for a lamp. There's some lamps I get that I'm like, that needs rewired. This one does not need rewired. I would not. I mean, if somebody really wanted that rewired, I would, but I think I would plug it into my house. But okay, a couple other things. I grabbed this ceramic Christmas tree. Rather than pick stuff up, I'm just trying to slide it around, and I feel like this is gonna end badly because the stingray is trying to grab the lamp. And there we go. I grabbed this Christmas tree right here. It is a ceramic Christmas tree. It is Disney themed. It has Mickey and Minnie and Donald and Daisy. And I'm sure there's some other characters on there. I believe it's a ceramic project. Somebody just probably had some acrylic paint and decided to paint this blank ceramic tree and then put little beads in the little peg holders because they didn't have little pegs for it. So it says on it, sold as is, missing pieces, but the missing pieces are little beads that have fallen out of the holes, which is really not a problem because they never belonged there to begin with. Somebody had glued them in. So personally, I would pop out all the little beads and go buy the actual pegs and stick them in there.
Yeah.
But it does have a cord. It's a really nice cord.
Yeah.
It's the type
With
of
an
cord.
inline switch on it too.
Yep. Paid $1.50 for this. And I'm gonna list it and see how it does. It is a ceramic Christmas tree. It is Disney themed. It's not high gloss like I like them, but it's Disney themed.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that does. I think I've already gotten a couple inquiries about that, so I just have to get that up and listed.
And we've got those, and then you've got the, what's it called there on the end?
Oh, I got a caddy.
Yeah.
I buy these a lot. You guys see me buy these lone caddies. I paid $1.50 for the caddy. Yeah, it improves the value of a set of glasses. So if I buy 8 glasses, I stick them in the caddy. I'm looking at $10 to $20 extra because I have a caddy. And when I only paid $1.50 for the caddy, why not?
Yeah, it's worth
So I
it.
pick them up whenever I find them. Got quite a few extra caddies just hanging around. Now let's talk about the jewelry that I bought. I did buy this little owl. It is a Jelly Belly owl. I don't think you're gonna be able to see him. It wants to focus on Andrew. It wants to focus on me. It doesn't want to focus on the jewelry. It is a Jelly Belly owl. Maybe you probably, if you watched the shopping video, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and if you didn't, you need to go back and watch it so you know what I'm talking about. It is an owl with a moss agate
Cabochon.
I can never say that word. Jelly belly. So that means that the critter actually has a cabochon that
Right.
makes up his body in some shape or form.
A cabochon is basically all that is a stone that has been polished and not faceted. It doesn't have cuts in it like a diamond does.
Now, in some cases, jelly bellies are just plastic cabochon. Like, they're just shaped like that. I mean, that is what a jelly belly is. So, they can be mice, they can be cats, they can be just about any critter you can possibly think of.
But that one's an owl.
This one is an owl, and it's actually a stone. It's a moss agate, so.
Yes.
It is silver toned. It is not actually precious metal. I paid $13 for that, which was probably a little high. You guys know me and owls. I just can't help myself sometimes. So it's a good thing Andrew found that one item that paid for everything. That's probably not the best purchasing decision. The other piece of jewelry I got, if it's gonna focus for you guys, but probably not. If you watch the video, you know what this is this Crusader's cross. It is from Jerusalem. It is 925 silver. It appears to be vintage. I would say it is vintage.
It has a vintage patina to it. It's not tarnished, but it
definite vintage patina.
Patina.
Yeah. So I really liked it. I didn't know what it was at first. I just thought it looked interesting and I liked it. And then I turned it over and saw Jerusalem 925, and so I started doing a little research and found out what it was. So it's actually really neat. And I only paid $8 for this. I already pulled the sticker off. I believe I only paid $8 for this. So I paid $8 for the silver. I paid $13 for the owl.
Yeah.
The silver tone. So the Crusader's cross, I believe, is already up to $20. So I'm making money on that, even if I'm losing money on the owl. So.
You're not losing on anything.
All right, Andrew.
Gotta think about it.
I know you like to cost average things. You're a smart cookie. I'll give you that. Even if I'm mean to you.
I know. You're so mean. She's so awful. I'm like tortured. I'm miserable. I'm unhappy. I'm sad. And
I torture you. Can't even say it with a straight face.
Ugh.
Okay, your turn. Go.
Okay.
So this is everything Andrew got at the community aid.
Community aid. I can't help myself with these Navajo, Native American vases. They're modern. They're newer. She skips over them, but $10. This is a larger size. It's signed. They incised the mountains into it. They incised the teepee design into it. It's very well done.
Smack it with your right hand.
I know, right?
I do that all the time.
So, cool piece. I really liked it. It's taller than I usually get to see at the thrift stores. Usually the ones I see are small. For a couple bucks. This one was 10. And I don't see why this couldn't at least bring $20 to $25.
But when you do, and if you do buy them, you need to be very careful because there are a lot of souvenir pieces that do not have very much value at all. And that is why I personally skip over them. Andrew likes them and he doesn't mind getting stuck with them if they do not sell. So that is why Andrew bought this, because if it turns out to not have any value, he is perfectly content with being stuck with it.
Absolutely.
So if you come across one and you're like, oh, this is $25, but the crazy lamp lady and Andrew bought one, so it must be worth something.
Be prepared. They can be slow movers.
Yes. And there are some out there that are worth money.
Yes.
But you have to be very careful because they still make them.
Yes.
And you can still go and buy them.
Yes, absolutely. And you can find them in thrift stores, antique stores, auctions, yard sales, flea markets, places like that. You will see them. You will find them. You have to like them. You really do. And I do. I really do. Gettysburg National Museum souvenir, 50 cents because it was half price.
And it's Gettysburg.
And it's Gettysburg, so it goes in my Gettysburg stuff. Neat little vintage porcelain Santa. I thought he was cool.
More than likely made in Japan. However, it is not marked.
Right, correct?
I'm going to say it's more than likely Japan.
Yeah, I would assume so. Absolutely cute and adorable. Had to grab him.
Stuffing presents on the chimney.
I think he was priced 99 cents, so he was half price. He was 50 cents.
Yeah.
You can't pass it up. Another book from my library. $2, Revolutionary War book. I like that stuff. Listen, you can never go wrong with a library.
You and your library.
Yeah, this is kind of cool. There's actually two things here. These I picked up, and I have to find out which shipwreck these are attributed to, but these are actually vintage photographs, probably more than likely from the Mel Fisher Treasure Museum or something down in Florida. There were 3 envelopes full of these shipwreck photos with coins and stuff like that. There were half price, so they were $3 a pack. And I gotta figure out which shipwreck they came from first, because then that'll add more attention to them. So other than just saying shipwreck, that could be one of a billion shipwrecks. So this is cool. I had never seen this before. It is Gettysburg the movie, but it's the Laserdisc set. So they look like CDs. I had never seen a Laserdisc before. I didn't know what a Laserdisc was.
I don't even still know what a Laserdisc was, and you still have explained it to me like 10 times.
It's kind of like a giant DVD, the size of a 33 vinyl album. It is still in its original sleeve and everything.
Can you buy one of those players at the store?
Probably online somewhere. I don't see why we couldn't.
Is it like a DVD player?
Yeah, it's like a giant DVD player, basically. And that's all that is. The quality on this is really good as far as the video. The set came with a book, some large photographs, a color map on like faux vintage paper of Gettysburg and the battle lines, a CD with the entire soundtrack on it. I'm gonna be riding down the turnpike next time I go to Philly, rocking out with some Battlefield rock, you know, and then there's a little pouch in there too. And I was so adamant with the girl at the counter when she pulled this out. I was so adamant that this was going to be a reproduction, but it's not. It is an actual 150 plus year 3-ring mini ball. It's ammunition, it's bullet. And you can actually see the ring around the top of the nose on this, where the ramrod slammed it down into the rifle.
Yeah.
So this is a fired Civil War bullet.
Very neat.
So I think
you're missing one left.
Oh, that's right. I did get one more thing.
Actually, I actually legit forgot.
Actually, I got two things.
What?
This is cool because you know how I roll.
I know how you roll.
You know how I roll. This is probably gonna wind up in one of our windows somewhere for $2.50. Yeah, it was coming up. Yeah. No.
Oh.
Half of 5. The coup de grace. The grand finale. I totally smoked her.
I don't want to talk about
again.
With the same item as the last time.
Another bird book.
How do you smoke me twice with the same item? That's super rare and like...
The only difference with this one is whoever had this one, Evelyn A. Buccieri, was the owner of this book at
do you remember the
one
last
point in time.
one?
Didn't have a name in the last one.
Yeah, there was a name. There's a signature in the last one too.
I don't recall. This one though, I mean, it's same exact book, same exact plates,
same exact date,
same exact 1942.
This one appears to be in better condition though.
I do believe the spine is in a better condition on this.
There's less yellowing.
Correct. The paper's in better condition on this. Evelyn did a very beautiful job of taking care of her book.
Good job, Evelyn.
Thank you, Evelyn. This one cost $10. The last one sold for $120 to $50. So this one will be going up for sale. I expect it to do around the same because the range on them is like $115 to $125. So excellent book, excellent score.
Lots of birds.
Birds. Gotta love birds. See, this is why I love birds.
You're the bird man. Not only do you attract actual birds, you attract like
bird books.
And there's a train coming.
So perfect timing.
Because we're all done.
We're out.
So if you haven't seen the video yet, there is a link to part 1 and part 2 down in the description. Make sure you go check those out. We're gonna get going. I gotta go edit this video and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Later. My family calls it my superpower. It's my ability to see value in things that other people might overlook. Sometimes Sometimes I go picking with my boyfriend, sometimes it's my best friend Sue, and sometimes it's my kids. But at the end of the day, it's all about having fun and hopefully just maybe making a profit.